Welcome back to Sakura Spirit. And still, I am the only man who isn't afraid to look at boobs and try to take in as much as I can with this very game. I'm still the Tenkaichi of gaming, and this is part 8. And I will be readying my finger for the F11 button just in case. I dashed past Machiko, who nodded as I walked past, lounging back on the deck in the early morning sun. I climbed the stairs of the mansion, looking around at what appeared to be the aftermath of their discussion. I think whatever angel was watching over me that I hadn't been around to witness or experience it. Mayako-chan, I'm coming in. Machiko-san said you wanted to talk. Just in case. No, wait! Oh, good lord. Just in case. Oh, Jesus! Woo! Woo! That last part? Yeah, that last part's gonna go up. So what's this part? The girls asked me to meet them at the outskirts of the village. After a short wait, they both arrived, wearing their usual clothes. I had to admit I was a little disappointed. I had hoped to see them in something a little fancier. This will be the first time we've interacted with the village as a whole. I figured it'd be a good idea to make a positive first impression, rather than an odd one. I'm sure you'll be fine. This past week has really helped the village realize not all spirits are troublemakers. I'm not putting anything past, YouTube standards or Google standards. I don't care. I'm not putting anything past it. I'm protecting my goddamn channel. Shit.
Did someone really get so pretty, all those lights?
It's amazing to see the village like this. The villagers had really gone all out, making the whole place glow. The light flickering candles dancing in the evening breeze. It is beautiful. Thank you for giving us this chance, Takakun. Without your help, I doubt we would have never been allowed anywhere near the village on this night. It actually reminds me of festivals back in my world. So in a way, I'm able to show a bit of my world tonight. I smiled, feeling pretty happy about it as I thought about my own city. Despite the difference in time and even world, I could easily see the similarities between this festival and the ones that were held back home. People would visit from all over, and the city would be filled with all kinds of decorations. It actually made me feel a bit homesick. On a side note, I'll say this. When I was in Japan, I lived in Yotsukaido-shi. And the one thing I really enjoyed living in Yotsukaido is the fact that when you actually went there, they had a fantastic, and I mean a fantastic festival. I mean, they showed out. And it wasn't bad in the Kanto region. That's where I was. I was in the Kanto region. So I went to a summer festival once. And for someone who only learned Japanese in a short time, I got along really fast with the whole dance. That's what I kind of miss about Japan right there. I miss the festivals and the food, but mainly I just miss the atmosphere it had and the effect it had on me. That's what I really miss.
talking to you? Something wrong?
Oh, no, it's nothing. I was just thinking about my world. But let's do something fun. Look over there, that's a pretty fun game. I bet you'll be able to beat it in any day. You want me to explain the rules? Fair maidens in my company?
We would love to play with you, Takahiro. Please tell us how.
I bet you would love to play with me! The three of us quickly made our way to a stall in question, which had a large one container placed in front of it. Filled with water, tiny goldfish could be seen eagerly swimming back and forth. Okay, the rules are pretty simple. You'll be given a small bowl and a little paper net. You have to use the net to scoop the fish out of the water. But the net is really fragile, so it will break if you aren't careful. The one who captured the most is the winner. Oh, and you're usually allowed to take one home if you catch any, that is.
Oh, these are my fishes!
Yes, you can keep one, Michael-chan. I would love to watch you play, Takakun, but I feel that this is not a game for me. Here, Elder-sama was kind enough to give us a small amount of money for my work here this past week. Enjoy yourselves. May the best fisher win.
I'm gonna catch a fishy!
I couldn't help but grin at Maiko's change of demeanor when she was told that she would be allowed to keep a fish if she caught one. The girl's excitement got the best of her. After several vigorous scoops, the little scoop tore apart, ending Maiko's game without a single fish caught. The dejected expression on the girl's face made me real sorry for her. Instead, I moved behind her, putting my own net into her hand while I rested my hands on top of her own. Let's do this together, Michael-chan. Just follow my hands. It's a game that requires you to be patient. First, you need to get the whole thing wet. If it's only partially wet, it'll rip in no time at all. Let it float in the water. Don't let it struggle against it. Now, keep it at an angle. When a fish gets close, scoop it up from the head and try to avoid the tail. Sometimes causes the net to break. Then you just slip it to the bowl. I showed her the best way to scoop it and move back, watching her focus intently on the water. She didn't move a muscle for well over a minute, till suddenly her arm twitched and she made a little squeak. There was a small splash and the faint sound of ripping paper.
Yes, I did it! I got one! Thank you so much, Takahiro! I got a goldfish!
Great job. Now you'll have a goldfish to keep at the mansion. Take good care of it. The stall owner bagged the fish from Mayako in a special water-filled bag. I gently patted the girls' heads as we walked back to Machiko. The older girl seemed to be interested in some masks that resembled different kinds of demons back in my world, making me wonder what she was thinking about.
Anissa-ma, I got a fishy! Isn't it cute?
Oh, well done, little one. It is absolutely adorable. Takakun, I am a little curious about these masks. You want one? I have some money myself from the time I helped out the guards, so... I'm actually more curious about their purpose. The stall owner seemed to evade the question when I asked him. Well, in my world, they're said to ward off evil spirits. Maybe it's the same here. Well then, I would most certainly like one. If nothing else, it would go a long way to prove that I am most certainly not an evil spirit. I think they know that already. There's no way two pretty girls like you could be evil spirits. I would still like a mask though, for reasons. Alright, so I want to wear one. I got a little chance that Maiko got to do something fun. You want me to pick one for you? The girl nodded her head, pouting a little as she pretended not to care, even though I knew she wanted me to do it.
Well, if you insist.
With a grin, I eagerly started looking through the row of masks, trying to find ones that would suit her. There were cute ones, intimidating ones, and downright weird ones I had never seen before. In the end, I picked one of the cute ones. I wasn't sure what type of demon it was supposed to depict, but it would have to do. How about this one, Machiko-san? Isn't it cute? As I showed her the mask, it kind of resembles the face of some kind of feline creature. The thought of Machiko putting it on, her fox ears poking out from over the top of the mask, had me on the verge of having a laughing fit. It is very, nice, Taka-kun. Thank you. I will treasure it forever. Put it on! Put it on! Shows you're not an evil spirit. Okay, I may need a little assistance getting it over my ears. No, it looks perfect like that. Combines the charm of fox spirit and the feline grace of a, well, whatever it is. I let a little snicker slip before the hasty footsteps suddenly reached my ears. Takahiro-kun! There's trouble! Turning towards the sound of the voice, I saw the village elder rushing towards us, seemingly in a panic, and I finally noticed. The festival had become eerily quiet. The spirit that attacked us the other day is back. She brought her companions along with her. What? Oni-sama? Wait, are you saying they're here? At the festival? Yes, they all seem agitated about something. Sakura, what has she done now? Just in case. You'll have to hurry. Sakino-tono and Narumi-chan are about to fight them. You must help them. I need more time to prepare a spell. Oni-sama, I don't know if I can do it. Do not worry, Maika-chan. I'm sure we will think of something. Mayako-chan, I have an idea. I'm gonna need your help. Let's just get there. Where are they, Elder-sama? Near the bonfire at the village plaza. Nodding my head in confirmation, the three of us set off in the direction of the plaza, hoping we will arrive in time. And just in case, I'm going to pause just in case. Well, never mind. It wasn't long before we reached the village plaza. As luck would have it, we arrived just as the other two girls got there. In the center, the bonfire had been put out, and climbing up the support beams were four strange shapes. I recognized one of them as the slime girl Sakura, but the other three were unrecognizable. Just in case. Never mind. What's going on? Did you come to ruin the festival? Oh. Four slime girls have appeared. Command, fight, flee, defend, item.
You're the mini pants from before. Ah, so he's the human who made Machiko-chan and Maiko-chan betray us. It's their own fault. That's right, those wicked humans didn't invite us to their party. That was really mean of them.
Well now, oh. Dun, dun, dun.
We did not betray anyone. The ones causing trouble are you four.
Oh dear Lord.
We are simply trying to get along with the humans, to work together. All you ever do is cause trouble. You were not invited because you could not be trusted. You have ruined our bonfire, terrorized our people, and upset the proceedings. All because you felt you had been snubbed. All because of your own actions. You have no one to blame for this but yourselves. It's the monkey girl with the sharp stick. Look who's talking. It's the slime girl with the stupid face. That could have been better, but I applaud you for your effort, Mio-chan. Nice work.
Ayako-chan, do you still remember the spells we found the other day? The ones in your book?
I think so. The ones like I did the one before? It worries me that I know exactly what this girl is referring to.
Do you think you can do both of them? I know it's difficult, but I believe in you. I know you can do it.
Yeah, go, Maiko-chan!
Do you really think I would fall for the same trick?
Sisters, we should show them why we're undefeated.
Oh dear, are you going to show you off your titties? As the sisters darted towards us, Maiko unleashed her first spell. The glowing light billowed up from her hands and shot forward. The spell struck the yellow girl head on, but seemed to have no effect as they got closer. Sakura shifted to the front, and the twin blades of Narumi and Mio struck, slicing through the body without any effort. I managed to duck as a large ball of pink slime shot past me. As soon as I was back on my feet, I barged into one of the other slime girls. Surprisingly enough, she turned out to have quite a lot of mass. Oh, never mind.
Magic can't hurt Suki, and physical attacks can't hurt me. We are completely undefeatable. Surrender your village to us, and we might let you... and we might just let you keep living here as our toys. This is bad.
Not yet. Maiko, use the other spell, now! The girl nodded and began to cast a spell, stepping in front of Machiko, who seemed to be preparing something of her own, staff in hand. I found it a bit strange. I didn't recall seeing any staff lying around, and she usually did not carry any with her, but for whatever reason she had access to it now.
I won't work out, just...
Trust me, Maiko-chan. I wouldn't ask you to do something like this if I wasn't sure it would work. As Sakura kept the two female guards busy, the two other slime girls began taunting us, throwing discarded fruit in our direction. Huh! I leapt toward the yellow slime girl, slamming into her at full speed and managed to knock her over. The girls let out a surprised yelp and watched in horror as Maiko's spell soared past her, hitting Sakura in the back. A high-pitched scream escaped from the pink slime girl.
That hurts! How did you do that, Takahiro? Yeah, how did you push her over? Her blades won't even make a scratch.
Remember what she said? She's the only one immune to physical attacks. The others can be hit and cut just fine.
And that is absolutely perfect for what I have right here. A special present from the guardian of the shrine herself. Taka-kun, Narutan, Mio-san, hold them tight.
Working as one, we nodded and charged toward the remaining slime girls. Maiko had Sakura in the grasp of her spell, and the pink girl could barely move thanks to her power. The slime girls had clearly not been expecting us to fight back, and with barely any resistance, we soon had each girl restrained.
I hope you girls aren't claustrophobic. It is going to get a little tight.
That's what she said. One by one, Machiko brought each slime girl a glass jar. And one by one, she opened them, pressing them to the girls' stomachs. The jars started to pull at them, slowly drawing them into the container, trapping what appears to be a tiny version of each of the girls within each jar. Machiko quickly pushed the lids back onto each jar, displaying them proudly to the cheers of the nearby villagers.
Thank goodness you were around, Machiko-san. And you, Maiko-chan, you have our gratitude. No, my sisters! What have you done to them? Why are you so intent on ruining all our fun? Sakura, take a moment to look around you. Look at the destruction, the damage. How could this possibly be fun? Terrorizing people, scaring them, and destroying what they've worked hard for. How would you feel if they came to your home, stole your food, and wrecked the place? I never really thought about it like that. We just wanted to play with humans like you do. As Michael collapsed, the spell seemed to disperse. Thankfully, I had been anticipating this and caught her arms with ease. The three of us looked to Sakura, who was slowly getting to her feet. And you can! You and your sisters can play with us. We just ask that you are careful. Maiko and I are proof that humans and spirits can coexist. But what about my sisters? They'll be fine. These jars contain a temporary holding dimension. So you really designed them to hold things far larger than your sisters. Sakura, if you are truly repentant, then I, as the head of the village guard, will authorize your release. However, before I do, I need you to swear an oath. Do you swear that you and your sisters will not cause problems in this village, and that you will work towards helping us and protect us? In return, we are prepared to offer you access to our supplies and services. She's basically saying that you're welcome in this village as long as you and your sisters behave. Yes, I swear we'll be good. So please release my sisters. I promise we'll all be good. Aww, I just missed the best part. How'd it go? Machi-tan, are my jam bottles filled? Hearing the voice of a certain playful spirit, the group turned around and found Tsuyuri seated nearby, swaying her legs back and forth as she looked at the crowd. I cannot tell whether you're joking or not, but I'm afraid I cannot allow you to keep them. They're honorary citizens of this village, and therefore under my protection. How fascinating. To think that the huffy, uptight Mio-tan would defend those troublemakers. You do realize you are talking to the guardian deity of your village, do you not? She's not impressed. Don't forget about me! I'm not just going to I'm just not going to sit by and let you do as you please. The girls of this village have grown into quite the brave little ladies. You must be proud, Hayakun. A soft cough came from behind a group of people as the village elder revealed himself, small smile on his lips. Seems like they handled the matter just fine, Tsuyuri-sama. Machi-tan, you need to pull the lid off the jar to release them. However, make sure that you hold on to the staff I gave you. It is your only means of channeling the necessary magic. Not everyone can be a prodigy like Maiko-chan. The older fox spirit nodded. With the help of Narumi, they began to free the captured slime girls. While the work continued, Tsuyuri eventually made her way towards me, a frown upon her face. I left out an important detail, Takahiro-kun. The gateway to your world has been opened, and will be closing again within a matter of minutes. If you wish to return to your world, you must leave now. But there is no time for farewells, Takahiro. Leave now, without your farewells, or remain here, in this village. Hey, where did Takahiro run off to in Tsuyuri? I do not know. Perhaps they had things to discuss in private. Or maybe he's gonna win me another prize. Or went to get some food. I'm still a bit peckish.
Recalling the promise I had made, I turned my back to the girls that had gathered around the really slime girls and followed Sayuri as she picked her way through the streets and into the woods. It was unfortunate that I didn't get to say my farewells, but I had a goal to accomplish.
It is a hard decision to make. However, I doubt this is the last we hear from you, Takahiro.
The spirit smiled, her hands pressed against my shoulder, a light shove pushing me backwards. Wait, what was that for? Interrupted by sudden dizziness, the last thing I heard was the spirit's amused whisper.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Before I had a chance to reply, I felt my body getting heavy. My vision blurred, and soon I was consumed entirely by darkness. 2 months later. With a sigh, I wandered along the familiar path leading to the shrine I subconsciously come to call Sayuri's Shrine. 2 months have passed since the fated judo tournament. It turned out to be an amazing experience. Thanks to Narumi and Mio's training, I have been able to make my way to the finals and ended up becoming the champion. But not everything went as planned. Even though I was kind of embarrassed by it all, I declined the proposal for me to start playing on an international level. When I announced that the reason I declined was because of a girl, it quickly made headlines all over the country. Rising judo star ends career for the sake of true love. Many silly things ended up being written about me, but it didn't matter. I had declined their offer because of the promise I had made to Michael, that I would return once I had finished my business in this world. But perhaps I had been too naive, thinking it would be as easy as that. I had been visiting the shrine every day for 2 months, praying and calling out for Sayuri, but none were ever answered. Knowing her, she's probably laughing her ear off at me, standing here shouting like this. I smiled a bit and I looked around the area, recalling how familiar it looked to the place I had visited with the fox spirits. Speaking of which, although nothing remained of the village, it turned out that there may have been a connection between it and the city of my world. Many generations ago, when the city was still a small town, a group of malicious fiends attacked the village, but were later driven out. Sometime afterwards, they named the city Tsukino Toshi. A city named after a certain tsundere. It couldn't be mere coincidence, could it? Ah well, guess I'll visit again tomorrow. Through the rustling of the trees, I thought I heard a voice. The moment I turned around, a circle of unfamiliar symbols formed at my feet. Wait! What happened to the old methods? Before I had a chance to figure out what was going on, the circle lit up and I felt the ground below me disappear. It felt as though I was falling through a tunnel of sorts, a dark, never-ending tunnel that went on for what felt several minutes until suddenly a light came into view and... Watch out! Before I knew it, I found myself dropping out of the air, right on top of 2 girls standing below... Before I knew it, I found myself dropping out of the air, right on top of 2 girls standing below me. You lucky stud. Causing the 3 of us to topple onto the grass with a loud thud. I heard grumbling from the 2 I had landed on and opened my eyes. And just in case... Oh, this picture! Oh, this picture!
Oh, that really hurt. See? This is what happens when you try to cast magic beyond your own capabilities. Michael-chan, you need to give up on this. This hunt of yours is going to be the death of you. I'm not going to give up. Takahiro made a promise. I made a promise. We would keep trying to find a way to get back to one another. So I'm never, ever going to stop.
I couldn't believe it. I was so stunned by this turn of events that I lost all ability to speak. Machiko, Maiko, it was them here arguing with one another. It was too good to be true. You are a fool, Maiko. Even Mio-san has given up on the hunt. You know what Sayuri said? Something like this can only happen when the world itself needs it to. It takes more than just one person to do what you are trying to accomplish. Su-chan is only saying that because she's mean and lazy. She's lying. You're all lying. I can give it back. I will. We made a promise. Michael, I miss him too. He left a hole in all of our hearts, which you will just need to let time heal. I'm sorry that you had to go through all this, but you must believe me, it will get better in time. It's kind of cruel to talk about me like I died, you know?
Takakun! Oh, Takakun, Takini, it worked! I knew it would work. It worked. Takakun, it is so good to see you again. I'm so happy to...
The girl mumbled incoherently as she began sobbing. Maiko had been sobbing since she first saw me. I smiled despite being rather sore from the impact, and patted both of their heads gently. Did you really miss me that much?
Yes!
Your disappearance was the cause of so much concern. Sayuri told us you had to leave, and well, we understand why you did. Did you win your tournament? Of course I did, thanks to you. I was able to become the champion.
I think it fell down here, Mio-chan. I think I see Chicha. Hey, Chicha! Is everything all right over there?
Machiko opened her mouth to return the call, but Maiko beat her to it.
He's back! What? No kidding, where is he?
There came a loud clamoring and rustling from the shrubs. The sound of 2 girls pushing through the bushes at speed. The 2 girls rushed into the clearing, gasping loudly.
Oh, wow, you really are back! Idiot! How could you just leave us without even saying goodbye?
That was so sudden, you know.
Mio, he didn't have a choice. He had to. I know that, but I just never got to say goodbye. Is that all? Oh, jeez, you are such a tsundere. Well, at least I don't even care. Takehiro's back. It's great to see you again, Takahiro-kun. I bet you're a champion now, right? Ready for a fight?
And so it went on. The girls chatted on and on, taking turns in hugging me with promises of never letting go. I was just happy to be back. As the conversation turned towards the time spent in my own world, I couldn't help but notice the presence of yet another spirit. Standing a few feet from the rest of the group Sayuri stood, watching us with a gentle smile upon her lips.
I guess I won this bet.
I wasn't sure if she was talking to someone in particular, but for a moment I could see her gaze drifting toward me, and the words that left her lips seemingly carried a lot more importance than simple words.
It seems like you are not done with your grand adventure just yet, Takahiro. I look forward to seeing how you plan to amuse me this time.
What do you mean? And do I have to F11 this?
You will see, dear boy. You will see.
And that's it! That was Sakura Spirit! Despite me reading throughout all this, I have to say, I really enjoyed this. I really did enjoy going through this visual novel, as it was just something totally well done. And it took me about 7 parts to do all this. Every story has a humble beginning. Although Gushiken Takahiro's story has come to an end, it is only the prologue of what has yet to come. Just for a moment. Okay, never mind. We hope to see you again next time. And that was it. That was Sakura Spirit. And I think I've cleared the entire gallery. And my thanks once again for Shinamori Bach, who have sent me this game, as it took me about 7 parts to beat this one game. So coming up next on my channel, coming up this week, I will be doing more. I will be bringing back Wild Arms to the rotation, as well as doing Lunar, and I'll probably bring back and I'll probably bring something else into rotation as well. So I think what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to redo Cherry Tree High Comedy Club. Only it will be done differently because it will actually be done with the original names and not the dub ones that you saw in my unfinished Let's Play of it. So the second time that we go through it, it will be done with the actual names and possibly the actual places and whatnot, and I will actually go through it properly this time. So that's my next side project, which I'm going to call the all-new CTH2C. So until then, I have been the Tenkai Musou of Gaming, the luckiest man alive. And this was Sakura Spirit. So until next time, on whatever the hell I feel like playing, take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time. So, see you next game, and Tenkai Musou.